Today, we're gonna make this awesome soap. It's olive oil, goat's milk, and lavender. Let's go.
I'm Becky. I used to live in the consumer rat race just like you. But one day, I had enough, so I sold it all, moved to the country, and built my own log cabin with my own two hands. Now, I spend my time discovering new ways to live a simple, healthy lifestyle with more free time and way less stress. Then, sharing what I've learned with you. Welcome to Becky's Homestead.
In this homemade soap is so natural and pure. It makes it so much better than store-bought soap. Pure olive oil, goat's milk, and lavender oil. It turns out so rich and creamy for your skin and just, smells so good with the lavender oil in it. You just can't beat it. I hope everybody gives it a try. Let's get started. This is class number 2, or step 2. The first one that we did last time is for really beginners. This is a little bit of a progression, so we're going to be adding a few more ingredients to the soap. So follow along and get a little notebook. Let me show you what I use. I write all my recipes in these. And that way, when I want to make soap, I can just flip through my book, pick one out, whatever I have on hand as ingredients, and then go ahead and make it. Again, for this recipe, we have done all the mathematics for you. So if you write this down exactly how I tell you, you'll have your recipe in your soap book. This today is going to be olive oil goat milk soap. So this isn't the kind of soap that you're going to leave at the sink for hand washing. That was last week. This week, it's going to be very nice bath soap. So this one you can give away to friends or keep in the bath or the shower. It's going to be really good for your skin. All right, so let me go over the ingredients first thing. Here we have a small bottle of pure essential oil lavender, which smells really nice. I'm sure everybody knows that. Today, we're going to use evaporated goat's milk. And the reason we're going to use that is, when it's evaporated, the moisture is taken out of it, and it's really rich, and you're really going to get the benefits of the goat milk, the goat milk in the soap. I do want to stop here and just tell you this. If you have goats at home and you have fresh goat's milk and you'd like to use that, what you can do is can that goat milk. Find a recipe to can it, and when you can it, it kind of condenses it down so it'll be like evaporated milk. And then you can just use that in this recipe. And this will make it creamier, better soap. We purchased some coloring this time. Now we did just get the liquid because this is a beginner step. This is only step 2 in the classes, so we're going to be using the liquid. They do have a powder, and we'll move on to that, which makes a brighter color in the future. So today we're going to use the liquid coloring. Again, we have our distilled water, and then we also have our lye. Be sure and go back and look at class number 1 so you can get an overview of the safety equipment and the other items we need to make soap. Okay, because I don't want to go over that again. I bought some more of these molds, and I just have to show these to you. I'm at a time in my life where I can spend the money on these, and like I said before, if you can't, it's perfectly fine and you can use a cardboard box. But my children are gone from home, so I can afford these. And they're not expensive. They're like $10 each. So I got the heart mold, which is so much fun. And I have, the good thing about these molds too is you don't have to cut it. I once got to get a close-up of this. This is a sunflower mold. And I just love flowers, so I'm just so happy to do this one. I'm going to try to do it two-tone. I'm going to try to do the sunflowers yellow and then do the second half of the soap brown or greenish brown. And then we have the simple one, this bread mold again. We're going to use, if we have any extra, we're going to dump it in this. And this one, you have to cut when you're done with it. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to measure out is our water. And I'm going to tear the scale so it's back to 0. And we need 10.3 ounces of water. And use distilled water when you make your soap, and your soap will come out better. Okay, so here we go. Remember, this is the tricky part. So if you have to pour it back and, you know, keep going and fiddle with it for a minute like I do, it's fine. Just make sure you do it because this will make or break your soap. So I probably need literally a drop of water. There we go, 10.3. I just remembered that when we were doing this shot of ingredients, I forgot the olive oil, duh. So this is the olive oil we're gonna use. We just bought a big gallon of it. So that's another ingredient you're gonna need. Okay, so we're gonna measure that out, and we need 50 ounces of olive oil. I love the color of olive oil. It's so sunny and golden. We don't wanna spill any because we need it. Okay, so now we're gonna measure, we're gonna tear the scale. We're gonna measure out the 6 ounces of goat's milk, evaporated goat's milk. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna set that aside. Last but not least, we're gonna measure the lye. I'm gonna tear the scale. And it's 6.41 ounces of lye. So we're gonna dump that in there. Alrighty then, we have everything measured out. So we don't need the little scale anymore, so we'll move that aside. I'm wearing a mask this time because last time it was stinky. We're gonna add the lye to the water. Go slow because you don't really want to splash or spill. And I do just want to tell you, this is the time where you want to get the kids and the pets out. You don't need them around. Okay, we're gonna stir this up, and as we know by now, this gets really, really hot. So we're just gonna wait. We're gonna stir it up until it dissolves, and then we're gonna wait until it cools down to 100 degrees. And then we're gonna add it to the oil. Look at me, I'm all steamed up. I can't see. Okay, it's time. So we're gonna take this out of the lye and water mixture. We're just gonna set it right there. We're gonna dump the lye and water mixture into the oil. Nice and easy though, we don't wanna splash it. We're gonna stir this with the spoon for just a second before I get the mixer. Okay, now we're just gonna do this. Just gonna mix it. You wanna pulsate it. You don't wanna go too fast because you don't wanna overstir the soap. So we're gonna just do this for a second, and then we'll go back to the little mixer. We're trying to reach trace. Stirring the soap is a very important part of it. We're gonna add the goat milk right before we get to trace, which might be the next time we stir it with the beater. And trace means where it's gonna leave lines when I move this mixer, which you can't see any lines yet. So we're not there yet, but I do think we should add the goat milk soon, to tell you the truth. Let me do it one more time. I've made a little bubbles. I don't really want bubbles. Okay, it's thick now. It's getting thick. So I want to add the goat milk now, right before trace, which is right now. Okay, so I'm going to pour the goat milk in. Nice and rich and creamy. Goat milk and olive oil. Ooh, I cannot wait to try this soap. I've always liked soap, so to make my own is really fun because I can put everything in it that I love. Okay, I'm gonna just do this a little bit and mix it in there. Okay, what I'm gonna do is make the color pretty yellow for the sunflowers. So what I'm gonna do is get a little extra of this out. And I'm gonna put the yellow in there so I can make the bottom of the sunflowers very yellow. Now I'm gonna add the fragrance. I'm gonna get our lavender opened. And I'm gonna put our lavender in here and stir it up. It smells really, really good. I just really enjoy the smell of lavender. And I know a lot of people do. It's a very soothing smell. It smells very nice. And whatever little bit that stays in this bottle, I'm just gonna put on me because I like it. I just wanna put it on there. All right, okay, so there's that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the coloring. And I'm gonna use the yellow. So I'm gonna put a lot in there. Okay, so that's pretty yellow. Okay, I'm gonna put the red in here. We want this quite red. I'm making this red because I'm gonna put this in the hearts. Now, if you wanted to make like a swirly soap, look in there. You could just pour that in and it would be swirly, but I don't want it that swirly, so. It's like you're cooking. I'm like, where's the nuts or the raisins? So funny. Okay, so it doesn't have to be mixed perfect, you know. You could, if you wanted to, put the mixer in there and really mix it up perfect and smooth. But, you know, sometimes a little inconsistency makes it interesting. Alrighty, here we go. I'm gonna put it in the heart mold. So adorable. Kind of looks like a strawberry smoothie. Now remember, you don't want it overflowing too full because we're going to have to put that cardboard lid over top. Okay, the heart mold we can move to the side. Okay, now we're going to pour the yellow in the daisy molds so it can have the yellow flower part on the bottom. It's going to be really nice soap. Then I'm going to like smooth it out a little so it's like the petals on the bottom. And then we have to put the other one on top. We're going to put the rest on the top of this and we'll see how that goes. It's really thick like pudding, so we want to kind of hurry. Blop, blop. The ladle's actually heavy. I added a little bit of blue because I wanted to try to make this a brown color. It's not really brown, but it's kind of earthy looking, so it'll work. Get these kind of smoothed out. You know, and it'll mix in there a little bit. It won't be perfect. We want to get these covered up quickly because you don't want your soap to cool down. It won't turn into good soap if it cools down, so I have to cover these right now. Because you could do all this work and then this part spoils it if it doesn't stay heated up. So that's why I'm very anxious to get that covered. Okay, now I'm going to pour the rest of this in this mold. Good thing we had 3 because this batch made a lot of soap. And I'm going to smooth this out. Since my glove's already yucky, it doesn't matter. All right. I'm going to take this glove off and I'm going to use the spoon to smooth it better. So as you can see, adding the color and the fragrance makes it a little more difficult of a recipe. You have to hustle and, you know, there's more to do, so it's harder. All right, so I'm just gonna close my notebook and use my notebook because I'm very desperate for something to cover this. It's not really long, oh, it's barely long enough. All right, and then we're gonna cover this one. It would be a better fit if I had cardboard. Okay, the last final big heavy towel. We're gonna cover it up so it can stay warm for 24 hours and then we'll be back to uncover it and see what it looks like. There we go. It's all tucked in. See you in 24 hours. All right, it's been 24 hours. Welcome back. We're gonna open our soap and see how it turned out. I have not opened it yet, so we're gonna find out together how good it turned out, which I hope it turned out good, because I just love homemade soap. So let me get all these towels off here. I'll just put those over here. Okay, that was the soap. Oh, all right. Turned out to be really nice colors. Oh, and it smells really good. Just that little tiny bottle of lavender, which was 0.33 of an ounce. It wasn't even a whole ounce. Made it smell really good. All right, so I'm gonna dump it over. Just stretch it, it loosens it. Now these we don't have to cut or anything. That's the good part about it. See if I can get it out of there. Oh, look how good that turned out. It's definitely a nice little daisy bar of soap. No, sunflower, I keep saying daisy. I mean sunflower. What a nice soap mold. It turned out so beautiful. I couldn't be happier. So I made it that color on the bottom, which I'm gonna clean that up a little. This is gonna be the nice soap that you're gonna use in the shower or to wash your face or something. Look how beautiful that turned out. Next, I'm gonna get the hearts out. Okay, now we're gonna do the hearts and we'll see how these come out. Now the heart's gonna be kind of the right color, purpley red. Let's see. These, of course, are gonna be smooth. These come out really easy because they're not decorated like the sunflower. It feels very rich and nourishing. This is a very, very, very good recipe. So I hope y'all wrote it down. Last but not least, this is actually just the leftover soap that I could have done in one more mold. So I'm gonna get another mold. And this recipe is, you know, makes enough for 3 molds, but I didn't know that because I've never done it. So I just had 2 molds. And this is like the leftover extra that I have to cut with the knife now. But again, it's so nice. I can't even tell you how nice it feels on camera. You'd have to feel it. And it smells like lavender. It's just fabulous. It's so nice. Imagine if somebody gave you this and this for a present wrapped up. I know I would really like that. This is for the people that like to make their own stuff and give it as gifts instead of just going to the store and buying it. So it's really, really nice. Okay, well the next thing I have to do is cut this one. And this one, I'm gonna cut it a little thicker because, now this cuts easier than that homemade large soap that I made earlier in class number 1. The color is all the way around the outside, but on the inside it isn't. I don't know why that happened. I'm just going to scrape this off and just even it off nice. And I have to have it ready, just in case I barter.
I like that.
It feels good, it smells good, and you can tell this will nourish your skin. I'll see if this fixes my skin any better. I heard that over in France that all the girls use olive oil soap. Alrighty, so now, as you know from the first video, we have to put it in the box on the plastic needlepoint sheets because it has to cure for 3 weeks. So that's what we're gonna do now. And then I put it away for 3 weeks. These I tip up just so they have a little more drying. You don't want them touching, so they have to have a space between them. I hope my box is big enough for all these bars. This batch is bigger than the first batch we did. And now the little hearts, which they can stack too. So we'll do them this way. And then in 3 weeks, you can give them away and use them yourself. It'll be perfect. I already have family members asking for the soap. Homemade soap is so luxurious. Once you try it, you will not want store-bought soap again. It is so lovely and so wonderful, and it's much better for your skin. I hope everybody gives it a try.
Sign up for Becky's Homestead newsletter. Go to beckysHomestead.com and sign up on the right. You'll get articles, news, and specials from Becky every month. Unsubscribe anytime, no spam.
Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions, please email me and Doodles. Happy homesteading. Bye-bye.